Where's Baby Yoda? Here he is. Welcome to Learn Whispering. I'm Jason Hopkinson. There are 3 stages of the whispering process. State, relate, and then create. So I'm going to give you a summary overview of this. Once I give this little man something to eat. You going to go up on my shoulder? Come on, give me a chance to get you some nibbles. You're going to go up. He's got the name Velcro for a reason, eh? He kind of sticks. Don't you, mate? Hey? State. What do you think that means? If I was to say, how you doing? What would your answer be? Good? Yeah, I'm okay. Okay. How are you really feeling? What emotions have you got running around in your body? Is the conversation inside your head like that? Because if you do and you get around animals that can be dangerous, you'll end up bleeding. Hey, boys and girls, hey? Your state. It's the most important aspect. That's why in this website and at studentsuccesstutor.com and my personal development website for adults, I either call it the learning state, the whispering state, or the state of presence. Indeed, correct presence practice, which can be applied to whispering, the correct whispering state. And when you're in the right state, you can handle mayhem like's happening here, because I got far too many birds around me. But I'm here, and I'm focused, and I'm in the alpha brainwave state, as a neuroscientist would put it, which is the learning state. Come on, Baby Yoda. You coming up, Dale? So the stages in the whispering process are, the first one, the most important one, is all about you and you only. It's called state. What's your state? Are you in the place where the animals, which includes Homo destructor, planet me, selfish human being, and planet we, Homo consciousness, is what's your state? Are you safe to be around? Are you safe to be around? And when you're in the right state, it means all your neurology is turned on. You have access to your unconscious mind, your heart brain, your caring centre. Because the animals live in a place of, well, what I term here law zero, but because they don't have a conscious mind like we do, they're just straight out survival instinct. However, what's the difference between a human and an animal? We have the ability to choose. We can be aware of our state and modify it to suit what's required. So if you know how to turn on your neurology and your psychology to get into the maximum performance state, the whispering state, the learning state, correct presence practice, they're all the different words for the same thing. Where you are online, you are grounded, you're aware of what your mind's doing, you're aware of what your gut and your emotions are doing, and you're aware of your feeling centre, your feelings. Then the animals will feel safe, be they domesticated or wild. So when you're in the right state, it means you can respond regardless of the chaos, the noise, physical pain, shock symptoms. I've got a couple of videos now where I'm going into the beginning stages of hypothermia, and I still do a coherent video in amongst mayhem. So you get really good at it. means you can perform your best to keep you and everybody else around you safe, because you know, you only need to watch the news to see some really horrible things happen on this planet. If you're in the right state, then one, you can survive the best and hopefully help everybody else survive as well. That's in the create part. That's part 3 once you've mastered this one, eh? The second stage in the whispering process, after you get your state right, is how to relate. State, relate. How do you relate to the animals? You need to understand them. How do I relate to this bird compared to that bird? I know them. So I know each individual animal, and I know who's safe, because there are birds in this park that are quite aggressive and biters. In fact, he's just over there, he's called Brown Junior. He always bites. So he's learnt to behave differently around us because we don't feed him. And when we do, we get bitten. And I still try to be nice to him, because I try to be nice to all animals, except for march flies. The bird just accidentally bit where I cut myself. Yeah, it's going to bleed. So this is how you keep yourself safe. See, that bird's a biter. Now, I can relate to that bird nicely, and I will, but I'll be careful where I put my finger. Again, I just cut myself yesterday, so it's a fresh wound. Relating to that animal. Okay, Velcro, what are you squawking for, mate? Eh? My whispering state encapsulates all these birds. They're just being themselves. They're being noisy, squawky, fighting. But my state is such, I'm focused and I know where I'm going with this video. Someone pulled your tail, mate! Oh, they're so funny. Who's this? Oh, you're squawking like a baby today, mate. Why are you doing that? Someone pulled his tail. No, we don't do that here. And I relate to the birds, you know, when they do things I don't like, I tell them, and oh, Curly Top's there, I just pushed him off my shoulder because he was chewing my ear saying, feed me. Yeah, okay, Velcro. So learning the skill set to relate to your species that you are making contact with, or species you are just observing. Observe them until you understand them. You'll see that with the stingray whispering. Everybody's terrified of stingrays because, you know, we had one of Australia's top animal whisperers met his end because of a stingray, eh? But stingrays tell you when they're annoyed. You gonna come over? He is, he's gonna come and get it. Boom, contact. We have stingray tickling my toes. I can feel like I'm feeling jumping down the piece of shakes. He just pulled it out of my toe. We have now got a happy fed stingray. Magic. Magic. Read the signs and respect their space. Especially if you're within striking distance. Know your animals. Yeah, so relating, how to relate. Yeah, know who they are. Know the actual individual animal, because they're all different, eh? They just don't have the complex brains like us. But this also applies to humans, because we are DNA-based habit machines. Hey Curly Tops, you're back. So you will learn to relate to a particular group of animals, individual animals, of all different species and types if you want to. Indeed, humans that you want to relate to, or humans that you have to relate to. be they nice or be they not nice. So your state control is really, really important. So you can function, respond, and speak to them in a way that's honest. Law 0. The third stage in the whispering journey is the big one. Create. What do you want to create? What do you want in your life? And if you're doing this course or you're looking at this website, it's because you want to know how to relate to animals, be it your pets or the wild things like old curly tops here. Don't chew my ear or you'll get shooed off, okay? Yeah? You okay with that? No, he's not okay with that. It's so funny. When you get good at this, when you get good at your state, and then you go into the advanced whispering state. So in the full 101 whispering course, I teach you how to do the Yoda stuff, the Jedi stuff. It's a little bit more, woo-woo, or spiritual, or whatever you want to call it, Jedi stuff. But as time progresses, you'll collect the evidence that you have those abilities. We all do. Do you want to develop them? So this is where stage 3 is creating. So you are learning to maximize any situation because of your first stage, your state control, which means you can steer outcomes as best as you can in a way that's hopefully #PlanetWe, i.e. heart, brain, unconscious mind, the child, the 5-year-old, the loving being that wants goodness for everybody. And then your unconscious mind will help you to behave, to act, and find yourself in situations that are supportive of you and those around you. Create. And what I say in the whispering course is I set some homework for you. Hello? You going to come up, Velcro? You good little bird. The more you practice your state awareness and going into the whispering state, the learning state, or correct presence practice, means your neurology, your unconscious mind, pillar 5 in the framework, means you get better and faster and more skilled at it. So you can be in the high performance state with all of your brain activated in peripheral vision in some pretty tough circumstances. Therefore, you can navigate the things where if you could behave just a little bit better or respond a little bit better or do your technical skills a little bit better or, access your memory because you're in an exam, then there will be better outcomes for you. So creating the whispering state, when you master it, you're in the whispering state from the second you open your eyes until you fall asleep at night. That's called mastery. Laws of Success number 10 at studentsuccesstutor.com. I talk about that. The unconscious mind, pillar 5, the heart brain, who is your most faithful servant, because it's your unconscious mind, it's your heart. Does its best for you. So you'll find, Scrag, get off my tripod. So as you master this skill set, it becomes automatically automatic. It becomes default. Because it's easy, because you've burnt in the neural pathways and the psychological pathways. If you're serious and you practice. It's no different to wanting to get a university degree or an apprenticeship or, represent your suburb or your region or your country in a sport. It means you're putting in the time and practicing, So the creating aspect really kicks in when you learn this skill set, and I'll tune that with you with the coaching. That's what that's about, because most people don't do this correctly. 30 years of observation tell me this quite clearly. Otherwise your life would change, your memory would change, your ability to respond in situations would change. to be able to deal to your emotions and your trauma and all that other stuff that holds you back in life. So that's the create one. That's the biggie. It's more than just relating to these animals that you have in your life. So that's the 3 stages. State, whispering state. Relating, rapport, being safe, being perceived as safe, and also you having yourself safe. Alright? Notice what I'm wearing. Business jackets are fantastic for cockatoos and animals with claws and beaks, because it's good material. I've got the jeans on, I've got boots on, because they can bite your ankles to say, hey, give me food. It's just what they do. So you understand the animals, relate, and then you can spend time with them and develop relationships, which is absolutely lovely. I'm sitting here just feeling utter joy. Do you want utter joy in your life? And when you master your state, you can have that anytime, anywhere, in the dentist chair. You can stop yourself going into shock symptoms. You can deal with horrible things, violence. And I can do stories on that. I've got stories on that and how I handled it. Being hit by cars and things like that. And surviving and not going into shock. Okay, I just got taken off my bike. I was coming around this intersection here. This fella here came through. I yelled at him about there. He picked me up, took me over this.
No, you can't. You can.
I ended up where these people are standing. I asked them to stay standing. And there's my bike. So yeah, he didn't stop. I yelled out quite loud. Collected me on the bonnet, took me over the traffic island. It's really critical stuff. And it's all totally possible just by learning how to whisper. Whispering yourself, then whispering anything with DNA. Any questions? Please make contact. I'm Jason at learnwhispering.com. Oh, baby Yoda. Hey darling, Curly Tops is having a crack at you. Okay, Curly Tops, leave him alone.